now. I mean, it's just been less agitation. The one kid I talked to the parents, of course, he's made a dramatic change because he couldn't focus on anything before. Now he's sitting down doing academics. He couldn't trace or copy. Now he's tracing and copying letters. And it's not because he couldn't do it. It's just he couldn't focus. He was so out there everywhere else. So yeah, the 4 people who've been doing it, all of them have been very happy with the changes they've seen. And that's only been doing it here, not doing it every day, but doing it 5 days a week. So
wow,
the parents are really happy with what's going on.
I'm gonna send you another one. It's just I've been so behind on things.
That's fine. Hey, that document I sent you is copyable. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And what it does is it tests it is a thing that can pre and post test a kid for their sensory processing and agitation and things. So you can get a score before they start the light therapy, and then you get a score after. They use it in the Qigong sensory treatment as our pre and post test that we give kids to see if they're having differences or changes. And it is a reproducible copy. They don't want you messing with it, changing it, but I understand that. I'd probably take the Qigong sensory treatment off the bottom, but that's just me. But it is reproducible because I'm a provider. We can reproduce that as often as you want. So if it's something you want to use as a pre and post test, we can start doing that. I just wanted you to take a look at it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, that would be great. And yeah, I've just been so
I know.
So many,
I can't.
but I'm definitely going to get you one out within the next week. And so just to recap, you said 4 kids. What were there?
We've had 4 kids doing it. Every one of them has seen a mood change at home.
And how often do you roughly, like how many?
We do it 5 days a week, 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day. Wow.
And we're gonna kick it up to 15.
And how
now?
What would you rate their severities like before? I mean, like overall.
Before they were having problems at home, mood problems, mood swings. They were having meltdowns. Now, a couple of them, they still have them. But what she's noticed is she's able to now co-regulate with him and get him out of it really quick.
Yeah.
So the intensities have gone down, the duration has gone down, and the number has gone down. The one kid he had some more screaming, but he's quit screaming, and his mood has been so much more compliant at home.
Wow.
Now, he's fine here. He doesn't have a problem here. His mom has a little problem with him, but that's a parenting skill thing. But she's noticed a very much calmer, less agitated kid at home now. The one with the dramatic changes, mom has just said he doesn't have a meltdown. He actually talks to us and uses his cognitive ability to resolve the problem instead of yelling and screaming and running away. So he's had a pretty dramatic change in stuff, but the rest of them have all had definite mood changes, definite mood swings to being more positive, more agreeable, less agitation, less frustration, higher frustration tolerance. Those kinds of things have really been noticed by the parents.
Amazing. It's just one more thing. Some folks are actually using it on the oral cavity and seeing some benefits, with speech and motor function in the mouth.
I will try that. I've got one that I'm doing with has apraxia, and he has some word approximations, but very, very few. We could try that. I'll try that. Start that next week of doing it not only the transcranial, but also doing it on the oral part.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate you giving me this feedback. It's really helpful.
Well, it is. I think for parents. I think it can be a supplemental game changer for them. It can be something that they could do if they were willing to do it. And we're seeing changes in kids, and we're just doing it while they're here. Yeah. If they were doing it every day, I think we would even see bigger changes. But, that's neither here nor there.
All right. Awesome. I should get you one out within a week. So thanks so much. I appreciate it.
But anyway, it's just, it's good. I mean, everything has been positive. I've had nobody that's looked at me and gone, oh, I don't see anything. Everybody has seen changes in their kids at home. Every one of them. Some more than others, but at least they have seen positive changes in their kiddo. So it would be great if we could set up some sort of research piece with this, but I think if we can do this pre-post test type thing, and I've got a new kid that's going to be coming in and seeing if we can do a pre-post test. It would be kind of interesting to see how we go. But I will try that on the next one.
Do you mind if I connect you on an email chain? There's a physician out in California. His name is Dr. Traver, and he has 2 or 3 devices that he just started to use, and eventually want to kind of think of a way to maybe actually do a small study on it. And it'd be nice.
I would be very interested in getting involved. Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Awesome. Okay, thanks so much.
I think that would help you out a lot as far as this goes. I mean, the initial studies have been positive. It's small but positive. But the thing is, clinically, the parents are seeing changes. So I'm very happy with it. The idea would be, how can I expand that to more kids? That'll be the kicker. Yeah. But we'll get it there. All right.
Thanks so much, Robert. Appreciate it. Take care.
All right. You're welcome. Bye.
Hey everyone, I wanted to give a quick review of the red light therapy device and some of the results that we're seeing with our 2.5-year-old son. We began the red light therapy about 8 months ago, and just for context, at that point our son was about 2 years old, and we've seen really significant results since then. He was not speaking at all until about 18 months, and at the time he only spoke a few words. I remember the big 3 for him were just car, truck, and clock. That's all he said. There was no mama, no dada, no nothing like that, no eye contact. And we really began first with a gut intervention, which helped a lot. But I think combining that with the laser, it really accelerated the rate of improvement. And, within a few months, he was saying 2-word combinations. He went from no eye contact at all to being a lot more comfortable with it. And he went from never answering his name. And he also was grunting at the time instead of speaking. He went from that to pretty much answering to his name almost every time you call him, unless he's really, really focused on an activity. I mean, today he's about 2.5 years old. He's asking for things. His sleep has drastically improved. He feels a lot like a typical kid, but there's still several areas that we're still working on. I mean, he's saying sentences now. He'll ask for very specific things. He's just a brand new kid. And I want to thank Dr. Zaharakis and Dr. Bogner for the device, really all the incredible help they've provided to me, to our son, really to our family. I couldn't be more grateful to both of you and everything that you're doing. And to everyone listening, I can't recommend this device highly enough in terms of just rate improvement for your child and how much better that I've seen my own child get. So if you're thinking about getting a device, genuinely couldn't recommend it highly enough.
He just turned 6 years old. He began speaking around 3, and his language is still delayed, but we started using the cold laser therapy for, I want to say it's been about 6 months now. And we use it about, I'd say almost every day, if not at minimum 6 days a week, for about 10 to 15 minutes. We have a pretty strict evening routine. And being in the functional medicine space and doing that for a few years now, I don't ever really introduce anything lightly, but I have a lot of trust in Alex and the team. And we started using it, and we've seen a really good improvement. Max does have language. He started speaking around 3 years old. However, even though Max has so many improvements, overall, he still is diagnosed and has autism and has struggles. His language, he does speak. Like I said, he started speaking around 3, but it is still delayed. He's not necessarily conversational, but he does have functional language. And it is emerging, and he's, working on it and trying to strengthen it. One of the biggest changes we've seen over, I'd say, the past couple months is his increasing independence. He no longer requires a one-on-one RBT, which he's had since he was 2, about October. I'd say maybe mid-October, we resigned his RBT, which we loved her. She became like family to us. However, we felt that he could go to elementary school. He entered into kindergarten in what's called social. There's neurotypical students in the class, and there's also a few with autism or special needs. So he no longer needs a one-on-one RBT. He's becoming increasingly more and more independent. We use the laser. Our routine is we do about a 20-minute Epsom salt bath in the evenings, and afterward, we do the laser, and then we ask him to attempt to eliminate any bowel movements, just to keep him regular. Which I think the routine there helps us stay on track with use, and then helps him just get used to the pattern of it being done. We just recently enrolled him into a program called Kid Strong, and we can see the difference between him and the neurotypical children his age, but he's doing really well. He's trying so hard to do like push-ups and pull-ups, and the course. It's like a little gym that with coaches for the kids. And sometimes as a parent, you're sitting there watching, and all the other parents, and your child is you can see the difference, or the age gap, so to speak. But once we kind of get past that and within ourselves, we're really excited to see how far he's come, and how well he's doing. So he does Kid Strong, which we didn't think he would be able to do independently. He does need help from the coaches, but he does really well, and he stays engaged. And the coaches always talk about how well he does each class. He also goes to occupational therapy, and continually over the last couple months, his occupational therapist has noted his improvements in his fine motor skills, including a better pencil grasp and hand control. Strengthening his hand muscles have been really important, and we've seen an increase there. So, overall, I don't think the laser is like a magic fix. I don't think there's ever any one magic bullet. But overall, I think we've seen a huge increase in his gut health. We do point the laser on the back of his neck in a sweeping motion as if I were cutting his hair with like a buzzer. That's how we use it. And I think overall we've seen some great improvements. I would highly suggest it to families that are looking to do, out of the box interventions. We've seen just overall great improvements with Max, his cognition, his language, just reciprocity with us. And we're really happy with everything overall. Alex is amazing. I can't say enough good things about him, and and all the work that he does in this space. And we're so just eternally grateful for the work that he's doing. And I hope this message reaches some families that wanted some insight.
My 9-year-old son recently began his journey with the DCL6R laser. At the same time, we had just started a use protocol to address gut dysbiosis. I had been dreading this step because in the past, these protocols caused extreme dysregulation for him and made daily life very difficult. Previously, during die-off phases, he would experience intense irritability, inconsistent sleep, severe difficulty with transitions, and increased OCD tendencies, especially around counting. The counting would become so consuming that he would not finish an activity until the cycle was complete. He was also having nightly bedwetting. My son uses an AAC device to communicate. The morning before we started the laser, after waking up in a dysregulated state, he typed anxious, nervous, ridiculous, silly. That was how his body felt in that moment. In the past, these symptoms would last around 4 to 5 weeks, while he always eventually came out on the other side doing very well. Getting there was extremely hard on him and our family. We began using the laser on February 13th with 1 10-minute session per day all over his head. On February 15th, I increased it to 10 minutes 2 to 3 times per day. Today, February 18th, marks 5 full days of increased use. Since increasing the laser sessions, he has had a complete turnaround in his level of dysregulation. He wakes up happier. We've had no bedwetting for almost a week. He is sleeping consistently through the night. In the past, during these protocols, he would wake up laughing and be up for 2 hours before our alarms. Now he is sleeping well, something that is a huge change from just 1 week ago. Transitions are easier for him, and overall, he is calmer and happier. His dysregulation is significantly reduced. His OCD and counting tendencies are still present, but now they can be interrupted without triggering a meltdown. What I have seen in just 5 days of use is nothing short of miraculous. I spoke with his teacher today to check on how he did at school. Before starting the laser, he had been having very difficult time staying regulated. She told me he had a great day today. He was in general education for half of the day, which is a big deal because my son has high support needs. I can't wait to see what longer-term use of the laser will do for him. The gains we've seen in such a short period of time completely blow my mind. I even asked my husband to make sure I wasn't just seeing what I hoped to see, and he agrees there has been a dramatic change in how our son feels and in his overall quality of life while going through this yeast die-off process. As he starts to experience more gains, I will plan to do another update to encourage other parents to see how wonderful and miraculous these lasers really are.
Hi, everyone. I have a 5-year-old son who is severely autistic. We have been using the Element Diagnostics cold lasers on him 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and night. We have seen great results with this regarding his sleeping habits, his focus, and his hypertension. We have also seen him trying to speak more with all his therapies as well. So we just continue to hope and pray.
I'm sorry my voice is a little hoarse, but I wanted to tell you our experience with the laser. We have seen profound results from it. Many times when he's been anxious, we have done it for 10 or 15 minutes and we immediately see him, the anxiety calm down, and he's able to do maybe whatever he's struggling with. We've been trying to do it each morning before he goes to school, and we definitely see results from it each time we use it. He never fights me or not want me to do it, where some things he will resist, and he's even asked for it at times when he has felt anxious. We have been very, very happy with the laser and highly recommend it.
Hello, this is James Grunvig. I'm the father of an autistic 25-year-old son who has gone through a lot in life, had a lot of anxiety. The lockdowns of 2020 didn't do him any favors. In fact, it made him more anxious, worse sleep patterns, things of that nature. It didn't help. So I moved out of New York City for a lot of reasons. One was to better his environment. But until Dr. Alex, his laser, which was updated over the past year, it really does work. It works. My son sleeps through now. He's not anxious. He doesn't wake up in the middle of the night, in the morning, during the day. Whenever he sleeps through, which is a marvelous thing. He's comfortable with it. On my end, I use it every other day. 3 minutes is all he needs, and he's completely relaxed. So it is definitely a product worth trying. If you have an autistic child on the spectrum, highly recommend using Dr. Alex's laser. Thank you.
Hi, I just started using the laser machine 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago for my son. I started using it for 5 minutes, then I increased to 15 minutes per day. I realized he's more vocal, he's talking more, and I found him also sleeping better because I'm using that at night before he's sleeping or while he's full of sleep. I found progress with that. It's a uh, good thing. It's like helped him a lot. I appreciate that Alex offered that for me. My son, I already started also to have it twice a day to have more benefit of that. It's very helpful. As I told, more vocal. His voice is more clear. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
Hi, my son is currently 12 years old. He was diagnosed with ADHD and developmental delays. He has been using the red light laser for probably the last 2 years. We try to do it in the evenings. After bath time, he'll usually read me a story as I'm using the red light on his scalp and down his neck, around his ears, sometimes a little bit on the frontal lobe near his forehead. And it seems to calm him and give him peace before going to bed. Usually, after having an overstimulated day, maybe some issues with school or homework time, he likes to sit down and get the red light therapy. He tells me that he feels better after he has the red light therapy, and we've noticed a big change in his demeanor, in the way that he focuses a little bit more. He is not as overexcited when we do the red light therapy, and so he's a lot of the times the one that says, "Hey, mom, it's time to do my red light therapy," and so we do it at least 2, sometimes 3 times a week. Um, and we really like it, and it's something that we've made a part of our evening ritual. So it's not something that I let go too long. If we don't do it, at least once that week, then the next week we'll make sure that we get at least 2 or 3 times in, depending on our schedules, because he sees a difference and I see a difference, and we just want to make sure that that he feels good after he gets it.